I have my 5 flashcards of visual. And then I have my grandma, my stepmom, my brother, and his girlfriend. Okay. Have you ever seen somebody that acts a little different? Maybe they walk on their tippy toes, they flap their arms, they won't make eye contact. You probably don't see it every day, but you do see it often in public. Everybody should have some knowledge of autism in a positive manner. A lot of times people have a negative outlook on it because they see them as maybe a pain in the butt, which is not always a good thing. Not everybody related to an autistic person is related to an autistic person, so it's beneficial to those families with kids or other members of special needs when surrounding people have better understanding of autism. It's good to have a better education. It's good to know the theories of the different causes, and also the diagnosis and how that's changed over the years. Lack of education is a big factor in society that can easily help out with those with autism and their family members. Not many people are aware of the signs of autism. A lot of them is they avoid eye contact, they're not interested in others, they really lack in a lot of social skills. They have a different walking style, like I said, they walk on their tippy toes, they might have a different walk to them, I can't really explain it, but they just don't walk normal, as a normal person. And many see them as odd or different. This is really just due to a lack of education, and there's a rise in the diagnosis. So it's really important that we are educated early on. 1 in 68 children are diagnosed based on a study in 2012, and in 2000 it was 1 in 150. So as you can see, it is on the rise. According to this chart that is falling down, you can see that the numbers are going up. It has went from 1 in 150 to 1 in 125 in 2004 to, in 2008 it was 1 in 88, and in 2012 it was up to 1 in 68, and I'm sure those numbers will just keep rising. With the lack of education, there's a lot of theories that causes autism. One of the big ones I know from when my sister was diagnosed many years ago was vaccinations. A lot of people said that if you got your kids vaccinated, they had a higher chance of having autism, which there is no studies proving that vaccinations have a correlation with autism. A lot of times people say genetics have an effect with autism. It's not an official statement, but there is some things that show that it is a possibility, such as identical twins. If one is autistic, the other one has a 75% chance that the other one will be autistic. If they're fraternal twins, there's only a 3% chance that both will be autistic. And if you already have one autistic child, you have an 8% chance of having more than one autistic child. So that could definitely be because of genetics, but there is nothing absolutely proving that yet. Another theory is environment. There has been a study that there's a higher risk of autism when the mother was exposed to pesticides. Based on a study, they had some mothers that lived near a place where there was a lot of farmlands and there was pesticides used, and more of those mothers had children that had autism, whereas others did not. And I lost something. A lot of times with these theories, they did not diagnose them very early, but we are actually having more of an early diagnosis rate. More children are actually being classified. They have a wider range of symptoms now, whereas it used to be very strict, and a lot of the symptoms just classified them as maybe mild retardation is what a lot of schools classify children as. Not everyone is classified as having just retardation now, but a lot of times children are diagnosed with more than just autism. Actually, a lot of times they are. There's an earlier diagnosis rate now. Studies show that diagnosis at 2 years old is valid. However, a lot of people start showing signs as early as 1 year old, but many are not diagnosed until after 4 years old. Many show signs of delayed development, such as their motor skills, their vision, their hearing, and their social communication. I know my sister, she did not start walking until a later age. It was more difficult to potty train her. It took many years. She had a harder time listening. She wouldn't make eye contact, which are all definite signs of autism. It's not, it could just be something else, but those are all signs that your child could have autism. In conclusion, we are surrounded by a lot of people, young and old, that are autistic, so it's a good idea to be knowledgeable. There's going to be a lot more kids in our future that are growing up to be adults, and not all of them are going to be independent, and they're going to be dependent on us to know what they need. Like, for example, if you're in the store and they need help, they're going to depend on you to be able to help them. The lack of education, theories of causes, and diagnosis of autism are all things we need to be aware of. Every bit of positive knowledge on autism is beneficial, not only to you, but also to the families and the people diagnosed with autism. Next time you see somebody showing the signs of any disability, do not stare, because it's not benefiting anybody or you. It's just making them feel worse about themselves. It's rude. And I know it's very hard not to stare, because they act not the same as everybody else in society, and not like that perfect person. But that is okay.